kin gathered close by the hearth fire's glow. What becomes of the hands that chase shadows of smoothness on the face, leaving the real work untouched?
See her now, our own bloodkin, slipping from the circle at dawn, drawn to the wanderer's tent by the river crossing, where hot embers and sharp scrapers promise skin like river pebble.
Her face returns, not renewed, but puffed as new dough left too long by the oven, eyes near shut, crusts gathering like frost on untended gate.
The children shrink back from her shadow at the threshold, their small hands clutching tools meant for their learning, voices hushed as wind before storm.
Who will guide their fingers to the plow's curve when her own cannot lift pot from flame?
The hearth smoke thins that eve, broth untouched, for her touch stings like nettle, and the young ones scatter to corners, eyes wide at the stranger in kin's form.
Out to the fields she stumbles next morn, veil loose against the breeze, but the hoe slips from swollen grasp, furrows half drawn, soil clumping unturned under rising sun.
The working kin pause mid-stride, sweat beading on brows, exchanging glances sharp as flint whose burden now fills this gap in the line?
Elder aunt at the boundary stone mutters low, her calloused palm tracing old scars from true labors. What fire from outsiders mends the unseen weave that holds us? By the workshop's dim oil lamp, threads of her task unravel further, the spindle idle, wool carded but unspun, fleeces piling in damp corner where mice grow bold.
Youth can shoulder the wheel alone, rhythms faltering without her steady song to mark the turns, and dusk finds the storehouse door ajar, stores unchecked as dusk wind whispers through cracks.
Does the gleam chased on skin outweigh the quiet theft of hands from shared toil?
Kin whispers spread like root rot. Trust frays when one drifts to ember promises, leaving the circle uneven.
Seasons turn, pastures call. Her steps falter on the path, face still tender under wide hat, unable to chase straying herd or mend fence against wolf shadow.
Animals thin on sparse graze. Milk yields drop as unmilked udders ache, and the young herders call echoes unanswered, his skill half learned without her eye to correct the crook of the staff.
At council circle neath oak, voices rise, merchant healers from afar, peddle new scrapers, hot stones that scorch deep, but elders shake heads, remembering hearths gone cold from like follies before.
What of the children's gaze, turned not to teaching hands, but to fear's veil?
Winter grips, snow mantling idle fields, her form huddled by lone flame, unable to join the weaving or tale sharing, isolation thickening like unskimmed cream.
Kin labor doubles, backs bent deeper, reciprocity strained as favors asked, go unpaid, bonds loosening like rope left wet too long.
Spring thaws reveal paths overgrown, tools dulled in sheds, knowledge of seed timing whispered only half to wide-eyed young, who mimic her drift toward wanderer's gleam.
Years weave on, the face smooths perhaps to some, but behold the echo. Elders' voices fade unheard at empty places in the circle. Children inherit fields with furrows faint as forgotten tracks, hands unskilled for plow or spindle.
Households fracture like dry clay under sun. Land forgets the feet that once danced its rhythms. Lineage thins as cold fires claim the unshared warmth.
Heed this, kin by the hearth, tend the true weave of labor and trust, lest the shadows you chase leave your own circle bare and silent forever.
If the words of the elders stirred recognition in your heart, then you must carry that ember from your own hearth and add your thread to the rope that binds the kin, so the flame may strengthen the circle once more.
You walk the paths between the stones, and keep the watch at the boundary stones against the wind that would scatter what the elders have kept.
You tend the fire that warms the right hands and guide the child back to the ground meant for their labor, so the lesson passes onward through generations and the circle remains whole.